Hello my friends, it's Danny, and today I am sharing one of my favorite green bean recipes. Specifically, I'm going to show you my go-to technique for cooking fresh green beans, and then I'll also show you one of my favorite ways to make and serve them. Quick hint, I love to saute them with some shallots and garlic and toasted almonds and a little fresh lemon zest over the top, but we're going to get to that in just a minute. So good. Now, keep in mind the technique I'm going to show you. Think of this as a base recipe. Once you understand how to work with green beans like this, you can create lots of different green bean recipes, okay? So to get started, I'm going to rinse my fresh green beans under some cold water, and then we need to trim them. Now, you're going to notice when you're trimming green beans that the bottom of the green bean has this long, kind of pointy edge. We're going to leave that just the way it is. And then the top of the green bean, that is the stem side of the green bean. This is where the green bean attaches to the plant. This is a bit stringy and tough. So this is what we want to trim off. So you're just going to cut it and push it right aside. Now, to save yourself a little time, you could of course do this in groups. So stack a handful of the green beans together and trim them at the same time. And also keep in mind, you can also find pre-trimmed green beans at the grocery store. So if you're looking for convenience, that is also an option as well. Now, once all of the green beans are trimmed, I like to blanch them in some salted water. This is a great step no matter what type of green bean recipe you are approaching, because it just gets the raw edge off of them. So on the stove, I have a nice big pot of water. I'm going to add a little bit of sea salt to this. Turn up the heat and let everything come up to a boil. Then I'm going to add in my fresh trimmed green beans right into the pot. And you want to let this cook anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. And this is really going to depend on your personal preference. Do you like a nice al dente green bean that still has a lot of bite to it? That's the way I tend to like them. So you're going to stick to more of the 3-minute mark. If you like them a little softer, a little more tender, then you're going to let them go closer to 5 minutes. But either way, once you see that that color has turned a nice, vibrant green, that's when you're going to want to start checking them. So these look fantastic. I'm going to bring them over to the sink and just drain them off. And then I'm going to run some cold water to stop the cooking process. Now, you could also transfer them into an ice bath, but I don't find that step to be necessary. I find just running them under cold water is enough to stop the cooking process and to still help them maintain that beautiful, bright, vibrant green color. So from here, once you have these green beans parboiled and cooled off, you have a lot of different options. You could take them in a lot of different directions. Number one, if you wanted to, you could store them in the fridge like this for up to 3 days if you wanted to give yourself a little shortcut and have them ready to roll for a very quick recipe throughout the week. Think of things like sauteing them with a little bit of butter and garlic, or tossing them with some ginger and soy sauce, or you could cook them with some tomatoes and onions, or you could use them as a base for a salad. There's really a lot of things you can do when your green beans are prepared like this. So it's a great technique to keep in your back pocket. But I'm going to show you my favorite way to prepare them, or at least one of my favorite ways to prepare them, and it's kind of in the essence of a green bean, almondine. So here's what we're going to do. So I have a nice big 12-inch nonstick skillet that I'm going to heat over a medium-low heat, and then I'll add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the pan. We're just going to let that olive oil heat up a little bit. It'll move around the pan very easily and look nice and shimmery. And then into the pan, I'm adding a ½ cup of sliced almonds, and you can buy them right at the grocery store like this. You want to move them around the pan and have all of the almonds have a nice light coating of the olive oil, and just let them lightly toast in the pan for 2 minutes or so. You don't need a lot of time. And then I'm going to add in 1 minced shallot. Now think of a shallot as pretty much like a mild onion. You could absolutely sub an onion here if that's what you had on hand, in which case you would need about 1/4 cup of minced onion. But when you work with a shallot, think of it just like when you're working with an onion. You're going to trim off the stem side, slice it in half, pull off this papery outer skin, and then you're going to make some horizontal slices, and then over the top you're going to make some vertical slices, and then come down and you're going to have a nice fine mince, just like that. So we have that in the pan. I'm also going to add 1 to 2 cloves of minced up garlic. Give that a pinch of salt, and then gently toss this all together. You want this to cook for about 5 minutes, but you're going to stay by the stove because you want to stir it fairly frequently. Kind of want to keep moving it around the pan, make sure that nothing burns. The goal here is for those almonds to have a nice light toasted flavor to them, and for the shallots and the garlic to become nice and tender and translucent. And you're also going to notice that the entire kitchen is going to become very fragrant and delicious. So once things are looking like this, and smelling delicious, you're going to add those blanched green beans into the pan. And then I like to use a pair of tongs with the rubber edges, and you're just gonna rotate, just kind of toss everything together. You're going from the bottom up, flip it around, get the almonds and the shallots and the garlic all well incorporated with those green beans. And you're gonna allow this to cook for about 5 minutes. It's really a very quick cooking dish, especially once the green beans are blanched. From here, mostly what we're looking for is for those green beans to simply heat all the way through. Once the green beans are warmed and everything is well combined, I'm going to transfer this into a serving dish, and then I'm going to finish it with a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of black pepper, and then some fresh lemon zest over the top. So bright and so delicious. I also love to nestle some lemon wedges into the final dish as well. It's just beautiful, and it lets people know what they're about to get into. Now, keep in mind, this dish is truly easy enough to make on a busy Tuesday night, but it is also beautiful and delicious enough to bring to your holiday table. So you really have so many options here. Bright, fresh, beautiful, delicious, and so good. I cannot wait for you guys to give this one a try. And remember, once you have this base cooking technique in your back pocket for fresh green beans, you can make them so many different ways. So if you have a favorite recipe or go-to preparation, I would love to hear about it down in the comment section below. This way you can learn from me and I can learn from you, and we can all keep on learning and growing together. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Danny Spees, and I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers!